Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you're from the planet on the planet Earth, depending on where you are watching from on the planet Earth. My name is Kenny Basway, and you are welcome to Kenny Bas World Outreach. Let me start by saying happy birthday to Nigeria as a country. Happy Independence Day. Today, Nigeria is 60 years old. Yay! Today is 60 years old. That Nigeria. It was October 1st, 1960, that we Nigeria as a country have our independence from our colonial masters, the United Kingdom. Today we are going to be assembling the best, the brilliant minds, and some of our community leaders all over the world. We have some people from the Switzerland, we have people from Canada, all the way from Nigeria. We have people joining us today to discuss the progress of the country, Nigeria. First of all, let me quickly say this: no matter what it is, home is home. So even we as in diaspora that has assembled today to discuss the progress of Nigeria, the topic we are going to be dwelling in today is Nigeria moving forward even at 60. Let me start by introducing some of our panelists that we have today. We have on your left, we have Dr. Brown. Dr. Brown is the president of one of the fastest growing organization here in Canada. Without even trying to go into introduction, Dr. Brown, can you please kindly introduce yourself to our people at home?
Oh, thank you so very much. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. My name is Brown Ije Osebige. I'm from Edo South, a human rights activist based in Toronto, Canada. And I'm the president of Edo Dynasty United Worldwide. And I'm also a restorative justice officer. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Brown. I also know that we have another brother here that is next to you. We have a brother, the man that I've worked with in this, let's say 2 months, we have worked together. A man that, if not for the fear of God, I would have said an omnipresent. This man is everywhere. I'm not sure how he does it. He's everywhere. He's articulate. The love of the community is the most part of his heart. It's the love of his community. He's also the president of NIDO. Ladies and gentlemen, join me to welcome Mr. Johnson Odibo. Mr. Johnson Odibo, I know I will not be able to introduce you, but I just attempt. You have to forgive me if I did not cover it because I know you have a lot under your belt. Please, can you throw more light and introduce yourself to our viewers and listeners all over the world? We're going to need you to unmute yourself. I'm sure it looks like you are muted.
Exactly. My name is Johnson Odibo, and I've lived in Switzerland. I reside here in Zurich, Switzerland, the past 29 years. So I think I spent most of my life here in Switzerland and in Nigeria. I'm into banking and education, and I've done quite a lot of work for the state of Zurich integration, and also run a company as CEO. I've done quite a lot of things in the education field and as well as in the finance area as well. So I live in Nigeria. I'm actually from Eastern Central as well. Yeah.
Thank you very much. That was very, very precise. I also know that you are president of NIDO. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right.
Sorry about that. I'm Nigerians in diaspora. It may be for people who might be confused by NIDO. NIDO is actually Nigerians in diaspora, Switzerland. So we actually under the NIDCOM, right? So NIDCOM is the overall body overseeing all the diaspora organizations globally. So diaspora Nigerians, that's what NIDO worldwide is actually under NIDCOM, which is actually an advisory body to the president.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you, sir. I have our big mommy here, the woman that everyone in Canada here is always proud of. Our mommy that is always on point. Our mommy that is not perfect, but she's always right. Mama Lady K, the president of NCA in the building. Mama, please introduce yourself. I know I cannot introduce you more. You know I have passion for you. You know I love you to the more. But if you allow me to continue, I will keep saying it. But please, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you so very much. My name is Kemi Amusho, known as Lady K, as you know. I'm the president, Nigerian Canadian Association in the Greater Toronto area. The Greater Toronto area consists of about 300,000 Nigerians, unofficially. And the association is actually the umbrella organization for all the other Nigerian Canadian associations. Thank you for having me here today.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much. We have our pastor, a man of God. I just met him not long ago, but from the brief research that we made, he's a man that is standing for the community. He's a man that has stood the gap between community and God. Sir, please introduce yourself to our listeners all over the world. I am doing this so that I will not get nailed. You know how it is when you have your elders on ground. You don't want to make mistake. Sir, please, can you introduce yourself?
Hello, everybody. My name is Solomon Oshoko. I happen to be an ex-banker too. I was working together with Dr. Odibo with UBSAG before I came into full-time ministry. Today, precisely, I am not just a pastor, but a lecturer, speaker, author, and leadership consultant.
Wow. Thank you very much. It's a privilege to have you here today. Among us, we have our own very boy, our own very man, I would say our own very guy, all the way from Nigeria there. Bobby is all the way from Edo State, a young man that has been representing GBK. He's actually our social media coordinator in Edo State. Mr. Bobby, please introduce yourself.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're watching me from live. My name is Comrade Bobby Obayuwana, the coordinator of Great Benin Kingdom Media from Nigeria. I'm a journalist, a practicing journalist, an educationist, and also a civil rights person. I believe in the masses, and that is why I am popularly known as the masses voice. Thank you very much for having me, and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bobby. I think we are having some kind of feedback from your mic, but that's fine. Maybe when you're speaking, take it a little bit further from the mouth. That may help. Let me start with I want to start with the president of NTA, Greater Toronto Area, Madam Lady K. Do you think Nigeria is moving forward at 60? Madam, you are muted. We would like you to be unmuted. Please, may you unmute yourself, ma'am?
I believe I've done so. Is that okay now?
Yes, you're good now, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yes, like I was saying, it depends on what you mean by is Nigeria moving forward. Where are we coming from is the first question. And where are we today from where we started from? 60 years ago, where we were coming from, actually, I think we have taken some steps forward from where we were. But if you are talking about where are we supposed to be, what are we supposed to see as a stepping forward, then that has a different meaning entirely. But coming forward from 60 years ago, where we started from, yes, I think we have moved forward from where we were. However, now to look at Nigeria at 60, a 60-year-old, where are we supposed to be? What are we supposed to see? Technologically, where are we? Economically, where are we? Looking at those two major things, you realize that we are really not where we are supposed to be. We cannot boast of having achieved so much in the areas of technology. We are still a lot backward. Just as simple as having data in Nigeria is an issue, is a problem. Communication, where are we? What have we done? Just a few years ago when President Obasanjo was there, he was able to help us with GSM. Before then, we were still carrying all this phone that we will be using our fingers, and the rotary phone. And when you look at major things that we need to do technologically in Nigeria, until we reach out to the advanced world to lend us their people that we're going to pay exorbitantly, we ourselves, we are not developed in those areas. Agriculture, we are still using the old system where we started from, where we take our hose and go to the farm. You look at agriculture the way it is done in the advanced world. In Canada, if you visit farms, it's a farm, just one farm is like a whole village. And you see the way they cultivate is different from what we have in Nigeria. And after we say, okay, those farmers, they actually suffer to put things together, at the end of the day, most of their crops actually go to waste because we do not have the infrastructure. We're not putting the infrastructure there for us to process what they are actually producing. Let's go to products like produce like cocoa. Cocoa, it actually has a lot of derivatives. It's from cocoa that you get chocolate and so many things. But funny enough, in Nigeria, we have to export our cocoa at less to nothing. And the cocoa comes back to us in finished products, very shameful amounts to us. Chocolate, for example, see how much they sell it to us back in Nigeria. Whereas it is our farmers that are producing the cocoa. But do they get anything in return? They get virtually nothing. Farmers are actually one of the poorest set of human beings that you have in Nigeria, whereas it's not the same thing in advanced world. So comparing where we are in education, Nigeria, we are really, really very good. We are vast, we have PhDs among us as if it's just like nowhere. But what do we do with those? What the PhDs are on paper. We don't have so much to show for their researches that they are supposed to boast of to move the country forward. Nigeria has a huge potential in the youth. The youth is actually so huge in Nigeria that they are going to waste. They don't have much to do. The opportunities are not there. So virtually every youth you come across wants to go out of the Nigeria, which is now.
Now that you're talking about it, let me quickly digress a little bit now.
Yeah.
Anybody can chime in here now. Do you think Nigeria is moving forward at 60? But Bobby, you are a youth and you are chiming in all the way from Edo State. Again, anybody can butt in at this point. You are a youth, you are chiming in from Edo State, a journalist, and at the same time you are a GBKM representative, a media coordinator and representative in Edo State. Do you think Nigeria is moving forward, looking at it from the youth angle at 60?
From the youth angle, I first of all would say happy independence, Nigeria. But in response to that question, the first statement I will make is what a rash and bloody deed, according to Shakespeare, in relation to leadership. The youth in Nigeria, as a man of conscience, as a journalist, and as a youth, I make bold to say that we have not really moved forward. We have not really moved forward in the sense that this is a nation that is blessed with so many potentials. This is a nation that, if properly handled by the right sense of leadership, by good leaders, the youth will be more productive. But since October 1st, 1960 till October 1st, 2020, the youths in Nigeria have continued to try to find their feet in a supposed democracy that is supposed to help move the youth forward. What I mean is, the youth in any developing and developed nations of the world form the life wire with which any economy thrives. But in Nigeria, the only thing that can be acclimatized to the characteristic of an average Nigerian youth is unemployment and youthful exuberance. This is as a result of the maladministration and the bad governance that we have been suffering from in donkey years. Now, relatively, Nigeria can be said to have moved forward in numbers. Yes, we are now 60 years in terms of democracy movement, in terms of a democratic movement that is still trying to thrive, that is still trying to survive. But an average youth in Nigeria, especially from Owedo Nunuame in Edo State, where I come from, because I am a proud representative of my people. I am blessed to be an Edolite. I am blessed to be a Nigerian. But I will never say that Nigeria has moved forward, because 1.5 million youths in Nigeria go into our various tertiary institutions year in, year out. But can they really say that they've benefited from the sector? In the agricultural sector, how many youths have been empowered? Because I can remember before, according to history, before 1960, before 1956, when oil was discovered in Olibiri in the Niger Delta, agriculture was the mainstay in the Nigerian economy. And if you want to help agriculture thrive, is it not the youths that are supposed to be the major workforce in any developing nation that wishes to move forward, such as Nigeria? That is my first question. Secondly, in the area of education, like Ms. Kemi Amuson rightly pointed out, this is a country where the post-behavioralist school of thought that is supposed to be advocating the interests of our children, our youths, our peoples. This is where they have failed us. Our professors will go to school, acquire all the degrees in the world, yet there are no positive researches to show that they have actually engaged the government of the day to help move the youths forward. Yet we have academic institutions, polytechnics, monotechnics, colleges of education, universities and institutes churning out graduates from these various tertiary institutions cut across the length and breadth of the 36
let me butt in a little bit,
Nigeria. And at the end of the day,
thank you very much. Pastor, do you agree with Bobby's point?
Yes, very much. I mean, the strength of every nation should be in the youth. And what we understand from the history of Nigeria, most of the present day's leaders, they started as young rulers and leaders in Nigeria. Some of them were as young as 27 years when they came into power. And they are still in power till today. So for me personally, I believe that somehow our youth have been disfranchised. It's not just about voting. It's about the power and the capacity these youths carry to change the society. Our society needs strength. When you look at Europe, an average leader here is close to 40 years. Close to 40 years. In fact, most of the other European countries now, you begin to see people younger than 35 years. So I want to personally believe that our youth are being such charged in Nigeria.
But will you say Nigeria is moving forward? Will you say Nigeria is moving forward?
For me, I won't say we are moving forward. I mean, look at what President Kemi said earlier. When you are looking from where we are coming from to where we are, when Nigeria got independence in the 60s, look at the calibers of the leadership we had then. These were young men in their 30s. Chief Obafemi Awolowo and Chief Asikwe. These were all young, vibrant men with strength, with vision for the country. But what do we have in Nigeria today? Old men above 60, above 70. I mean, adding no special value to the country. Well, as a country, we can say it's progress, that we are still united. That is one thing. We have unity in diversity. But I believe personally that we deserve more than that. At this point in time, we're supposed to have a system that can depend on our youths that can add value to the nation. So there's a need for improvement in that area.
Thank you very much, sir. I want to go to Dr. Do you agree that the youth, Nigeria is moving forward, and from the youth angle, what my brother just said, that the youths are not part of the equation, so to say?
That Nigeria is moving forward, I don't think so. I think we only move forward after independence with the likes of, I borrow words from Pastor Oshoko, that with the likes of Azikwe, Awolowo, even Yakubu Gowon. I mean, all the leaders we had before in their 30s, they were vibrant, they were dynamic. They had the goal of the country. Theirs was just their country and nothing else. And they really fought, But if you look at after then, that was the only progress we made. We got the independence now. What do you do with it? So they didn't know that subsequently that's what to do with it, with their freedom. So they just stayed there and continued doing things the same way without thinking strategic. So they had no strategy in place how to move the country forward. You can look at 60 years down the road, even now in Nigeria, people still think about grazing land for cattle. People still move cattle, walking cattle from one place to the other. For me, it's so laughable that in the 21st century, you're still thinking about walking cattle from one place to the other, fighting over grazing land. It just shows that the leadership, they just don't know what it is, what is really happening out there. And that's the unfortunate thing. And who is to blame? It is because, again, nobody, like after independence, I said those who fought for independence at that time, they didn't know what to do with the freedom they now got. So they didn't equip the schools to take care of this new change, the brain change, the dynamics of changing the thinking process of people who were probably impoverished and enslaved by colonial masters into a new world or new era of having to think this through themselves. So the universities were not equipped. And the same thing continues. If you look at today, people set up companies, people want to be vibrant, they want to go into entrepreneurship, but you find in most universities in Nigeria, you have entrepreneurship development departments that are non-functional. So how would those companies succeed? So they are really fighting here and there. So the youth that should have been given the chance to really come up to do something, the school system does not even give them the time. They still think old-fashioned. So you have a system in a country where statistically, this is statistics I've made myself put together, is maybe percentage error, say plus or minus 10. We have count of universities at 147 universities in Nigeria. And you come to think about polytechnics, we have 81 polytechnics plus or minus 10 as well. So if you have to look at that, what are they producing? If they were producing anything, then going by statistics of the over 200 million, we are probably at about, by June this year, we were probably about, estimated about 206 million Nigerians. And of these 206 million, who are those in power? Are those people that are the ages from 55 and to 80 or what have you? And they constitute just about 6% of the total population of a country that has a total of over 60% youth from ages 0 to 24 years old, constitute over 60% of Nigeria's population. Now, the school, to equip these people with a thinking process, they do not have enough, in their curricula to really help this children or this youth through the thinking process. So how do you want them to come up with anything?
So let me come in like this now, Dr. Brown. I want to come in here, and I see you taking some notes and taking points down. What's your take on this discussion so far?
Well, thank you. It is very good that we're having such conversation. And the question is Nigeria moving forward? Looking at that question, I want to take the word out, moving. Are we moving forward or we are moving backward? I know we are moving because you can make arguments on both sides. Some people will make an argument that we're probably moving backward. some people might also make the argument that we are moving forward. Some people have tried to look at it right now from the technological standpoint, from the economical standpoint, from the youth standpoint. I want to tie my point more to the social and moral standpoint, mirrors to the youth. I believe that Pastor Solomon did say that the youth have been disenfranchised. And our brother Bobby also said that, there's no so much future for the youth. And for us, the social part of it that is not well. Sorry, I missed the point I'm trying to bring to focus here. So looking at the social side of the situation of Nigeria, I would like to represent the popular statement that it's a capital no, that Nigeria is not moving forward because of what we now celebrate today from the moral standpoint, because hard work is not being celebrated. Corruption is highly being celebrated. And the youth, who are the future of tomorrow, are not looking at the leaders that we have today and the fact that things that ought not to be celebrated are things that are being celebrated. And if that is what the youth are looking up to, and the youth is saying, I think it's the continual moving backward, not moving forward in any sense.
Thank you very much. I like the way you put it. Thank you, everybody, the way you have eloquently expressed your own view and so on. Everybody we have on this panelist, we are leaders in our various community, and discussion like this is very, very crucial. One may argue discussion like this is boring, but it's very, very crucial. As a leader, a president of NIDO in diaspora, Dr. Johnson Odibo, do you believe or will you agree that the diasporans will play a lot of role in the new Nigeria? Meaning, if there should be a growth, do you think the diasporans will have a role in that?
A big yes. You can see from the Edo State elections what happened. That wouldn't have been possible if the diasporans would not have played a part. All the Edos came together to make that change happen. Because the problem, what you see in Nigeria today, is that the youth, they just felt, or they felt till now, left alone. And this is why you find them, the only occupation open to them is to go starting churches, and then they were looking for miracles, or they're looking to just be friends. Even people will come and steal them, even in their faces, get the money from the states, spend it, buy Rolls Royces. What do the youth have? They just say, Babao. They are praising the youth. They cannot even raise their voices to even protest, to say, why is our money? They are just satisfied with nothing, and they keep quiet until the people in the diaspora woke up to say, no, we have.
The Nigerian diasporans, and the reality is on ground. What we are being fed through the media, through social media, through a lot of propaganda, because you see, what I discovered in Nigeria is we have the people in power and we have the people that want to snatch the power. So the people in power, no matter what they do, no matter how good they are, those who want to snatch the power, they are out there with a lot of propaganda, negative propaganda. So I'm not saying the people in power right now are doing so well or they are doing so bad, but what we get at the very bottom of the information. So we in diasporas, when I got home, I was shocked at the infrastructures I see. The area where I was staying, for example, the electricity, we were having shortage like 2 hours in a day. I'm not saying it's the same all over the place, right? But things are changing gradually. A lot of things are being done. For example, we were shouting here about the rice, the ban on the rice, right? But it has actually helped farmers in Nigeria to start growing the same rice they would have been spending a lot of money on. I saw roads that are being constructed. The way they construct the roads is not like they just put asphalt, like they color the road like before. I see them actually weaving as if they are doing, when you are going to do like what we call decking of houses. They do that, they put concrete, and then they put asphalt. I have some videos that I recorded. I was shocked that what we know or what we are hearing every day in the diaspora is totally different. And that leads me to a question. If you look daily, you see, since I came back just 1 week, have been getting calls of people who want to go to Nigeria to invest. They are not Nigerians. Who will ever go to a place where there's nothing to benefit from? Why are we having a huge representation of foreigners in Nigeria today in different sectors if there's nothing there? There's something in Nigeria. The way we diasporans see Nigeria, I tell you, my brothers and sisters, is not what Nigeria is about. It is time for us in diasporans to actually start coming together, to actually start taking second look at what Nigeria actually is. What do we have? If you look at Nigeria, Nigeria is sitting on a lot of resources. I give example of my state, Osun State. By the way, I'm very proud of my state. Osun State has the best gold in the world, 24 karat gold. The area where it is concentrated is somewhere like in Ilesha Axis. Guess what is happening there now? We have this particular set of foreigners that are there mining like crazy. And they are using our own people, buying the land from our people, using our people, paying them peanuts to mine this gold and others
Now,
or other things that we have illegally.
let me
I'm going to, okay.
Go ahead. Just round up. Go ahead, Mom.
Okay, so to round up, look, diasporans, we have a lot to contribute. We are already contributing by sending money, by going on social media. We have a voice. We are actually able to galvanize our people. However, diasporans, main thing we need to do now, take a second look at Nigeria and see what we can actually benefit from Nigeria. And also, try our best to change the mindset of our people. We are focusing on the corruption. We are focusing on the leadership. We are not focusing on the followership. That's another area, so let me just keep quiet there.
Thank you very much for the way you eloquently weigh in just now, which is very, very brilliant in my own opinion. I want to ask now, my brother Bobby, you are in Nigeria right now. I know that you will be able to attest to the infrastructure. Let's take Edo State, for example. Looking at the pace other African countries are going and the pace Edo State is going or Nigeria is going overall, when you look at it from that angle, will you say that the diaspora has helped a lot? Or will you also say that the infrastructure you currently see on ground is up to par when you compare it with other African countries?
Okay. Currently, the infrastructural development in Edo State is absolutely amazing. And kudos, credence, salute must be given to the current governor of Edo State and his deputy. Talking about Governor Godwin Nogegase, Obaseki, and Right Honorable Comrade Philip Shaibu. These are persons that came into Edo State on November 12, 2016, and all we've been getting from in the administration has been developmental strides, not just in the infrastructural sector. In the basic education, the Edo Best, they have been very, very fantastic. In the first time in Edo State, we now have teachers teaching with good knowledge of digital technology that is very functional in our basic educational level. Infrastructural, back to the infrastructural development status in Edo State. We have so many good roads. Like I can attest to the fact that Governor Godwin Obaseki has been so fantastic in
the provision of good roads in Edo State. If you go to Saple Road access, the roads in Iriri. If you go to Ikobail access in Ikobaoka, we have good roads. If you go to Texami Road in Oredo, where I come from, where I reside, we have good roads. Currently, they are dualizing the Ekenwan Road that leads directly to the famous Gelekele axis in Edo State. And we have been seeing so many infrastructural development, like the refurbishing of our civil service secretariat at Saple Road. That one is a world class. Is actually a world class building that can be termed to be a monumental edifice in Edo State.
Will you say that
you understand?
Will you say that diasporans are part of this progress? Do you think diasporans have in part or will impart the growth of the country? Let's take, because you're in Edo State.
Yes, diasporans, kudos must also be given to the diasporans. For the first time in Edo State and in Nigeria, we now have diasporans apart outside the nationalist movement. We now have diasporans in this 21st century that have been contributing immensely towards the growth and development of not just Edo State, but Nigeria. And it played out in the just concluded September 19 gubernatorial elections in Edo State. This was the first time in Edo State since its creation in August 27, 1991, when diasporans came together to speak with one voice and one mind to say, yes, let us see how we can change the narratives in the governance and in the infrastructural development that plays down in Nigeria. And diasporans came up with a voice to say, no, that we are no longer looking at political parties. We are now looking at sincerity of purpose from the personality of various candidates and various politicians we now have in various states in Nigeria. And I must say that I am very, very blessed, and I'm very, very happy that diasporans have played a major role. But however, they should intensify their efforts, because you would agree with me that consistency in keeping good faith and consistency in maintaining this absolute mouth-watering and milestone that they've started, this pace, in keeping this good pace by making sure that they monitor, they check and balance the activities of our leaders in Nigeria, is absolutely amazing. And if more diasporans come together, talking about diasporans in NIDO, NITCOM, and the rest of them in UK, in America, and in other parts of the world, if they come together and say, yes, let us make Nigeria a developmental hub, trust me, from now to 5 years, with this increasing pace, Nigeria will become a force to reckon with in the African continent. Thank you very much.
Dr. Brown, I know that you've been carefully watching. Before I bring the pastor in, I just wanted to weigh in as to what we have been discussing since.
Yeah, sounds good. I totally agree with what Bobby just said. Although diaspora can actually, contribute to the change that we need in the society, Nigeria at large. Every Nigerian diaspora, pretty much. I like to stay focused very much on social and moral side, the social and moral dimension. I very much understand the infrastructural side, but for the infrastructure, for us to have a society that will be able to function the way that, up to Western image, the people that lives in that society is very important. That sensitization, that awareness, is very important for us to stay very strongly focused on. And you would agree that Edo diaspora involving in the last election, by way of creating awareness, by way of talking to people, that it is no longer about political party. It has to do with the individual, the character, the substance, what the person has to do, what the person has to bring to the society, the long-term goal, not so much immediate gratification. Because if you look at, even some people still engaged on those ideas of, let's take 5,000 naira and go and give a vote, forgetting that 5,000 naira is not going to sustain them for a day or 2 days. But for 4 years, if you take 5,000 naira and you vote the wrong person, you are going to be in a situation that you don't like, that's not appealing for a longer period of time. So, like working on, Edo diaspora continually, creating awareness in the society, it's a huge contribution. And the fact that Edo diaspora or Nigerian diaspora, to be quite honest with you, with the Western orientation that we have, with the knowledge that we have, if we take it up as a passion to begin to impact it on the people, to talk to them that this is the way forward, and if we truly can come together as a people, we can have a society that will function in a way that majority of the people will be okay. We can never have a perfect society, but then we as a people coming together can make it up to the point that is comfortable for us. So that is why what we celebrate and what we communicate is very important. The idea of the role model, because at the end of the day, and also Edo diaspora have to be able to also try to teach the younger generation that, there is dignity in hard work. If somebody gets involved in corrupt activities, a young man that is probably going to get involved in corrupt activity and go and buy a brand new car, it's not what it takes to be of a good character. What you do, we have to begin to teach our young men and young women that we have to celebrate hard work. Our youngest does not have to subscribe to somebody because they don't know what this person is doing for a living, whether it's a criminal or is a thief. As long as he has one to try around, those are the kind of people they want to hang out with. But when they see the ones that, because we do not celebrate the ones that do the hard work, they are often looked down, and those are the role models, and those are the pillars of the society. Those are the people that, if they are well bred and they have opportunity to be able to put help the put structures together that will keep morality for a longer period of time.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's very, 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 very laudable. I want to go to the pastor now. Pastor, it's nice to hear. I want to hear your view. I have more to say when it comes to you, but I want to go slowly. So what's your take when it comes to diasporans impacting Nigeria at large?
Now we see how political system in Nigeria is gradually evolving to our dream status right now. And of course, we all know major influence is coming from the diasporans. I mean, in terms of the economy, it's now an open secret that diasporans contribute financially to Nigeria even more than our petroleum. That is one major area that has never been taken into cognizance before. But in addition to playing such financial role, you can see in the area of influence, like the Edo election we are just speaking about. Look at the big major influence that happened through the diasporans. Oh. Only personally, I'm believing that the narratives can still get better when the government goes beyond just being influenced by the diasporans by coming forward to recruit some of these people to come to Nigeria and add value to the system. Now, all over the world, Nigerians have distinguished themselves as excellent source in any field. Trust Nigerians. An average Nigerian in Europe stands shoulder tall compared to other nationalities. In essence, what I'm saying is, here we are now outside. Of course, before they call it brain drain, but nowadays we can see the positive impact coming, that most of Nigerians have acquired necessary information and exposure in the Western world. And it is time the government begins to profit from diasporans by creating positive environment that can attract the Nigerians home. I understand what my dear president was saying the other time, that it seems that most Nigerians outside do not get what is going on right there in Nigeria. That is a point. But another part of the point is, what is the Nigerian government doing towards attracting back home all these intellectuals that we have outside?
Now, it seems like you agree that the diasporans have played a major role.
We are playing a major role outside the country, so why can't we do it in our country?
On the floor, as a pastor, what role have religions play in the growth, if there's any, or in the setback of Nigeria to date?
Of course, religion is playing a major role in Nigeria. Either anybody wants to believe that or not, the fact is there to prove it. Number one, there's no way you can move a nation forward without transforming the people. The mindset of the people is very important. And religious leaders play a major role in formulating the mindset of their society. Don't forget that most of the pastors are serving as mentors to leaders, to politicians in Nigeria. So
that's what makes it even worse. If I mentor you and you turn out to be a criminal, what kind of a mentor is that? Doctor,
now, let's look at it in two ways. It's easier to blame the pastors for what is going on in the country. But don't forget, what is the percentage of the pastors in Nigeria? I mean, let's call a spade a spade. Leadership is a problem on its own, but don't forget that every society is made up by the characters of the citizens.
Oh, but let anybody weigh in on this one now.
By the character of the citizens. So this is where I see that pastors can play a major role by not only modeling for the people they mentor, that is the leaders, they can also affect the lifestyle of the entire citizens.
Still on the topic of a lifestyle, when you have the vice president, the pastor,
yes,
you have the situation at hand, Dr. Odibo, what do you think? Do you think at Nigeria at 60, religion or whatever, Christianity, any type of religion has brought us forward or brought us back? Remember, we have a case of Sharia law. We have different things happening in the country. We have Boko Haram, which is against Western civilizations. We can tell this to many areas. Remember, we're talking about if Nigeria moving forward. What's your take on this?
I think religion has not done us any good. It did us before. And let me tell you why I think so, in my personal opinion. If you see when the missionaries, they came to Nigeria, they came with religion on one side, but they also brought education. Most of the schools, if I take Edo State, for instance, most schools were built by missionaries. So if the missionaries had just brought religion and not built schools, they would have failed. But they brought schools to at least change the mindset of people, to make them think, to make them learn things and those kind of things. So a lot of us profited from those schools. But what we now have is the religions practiced in Nigeria today is that it's like a suction pump. They suck money from the people. Now, I like what the pastor said before. The diasporans, they send on yearly basis, they transmit over $26 billion. And about 70% of these people are from the South, Edo State. They send to Nigeria. And what does it do? It means, of course, it does help people to figure if they spend the money. They don't know how the money comes. But the bad side of this is that the people, there is this disconnect from the government. So the people in government, in power, or even in their states, in their local government, they steal money and the people just don't care. Why? Because people from the diaspora are sending money to them. You see? So they get money from the diaspora and they don't care whether you see their bread that is actually meant for them. They don't give a damn about it. You can steal it, but the diaspora give them money. But the church should have done something more. Instead of churches educating them, they are busy building cathedrals and building schools, which even these people donating money cannot even attend. Have you seen the school fees of most of these churches? So that's where I come in, that I say the churches have not done better. And if you think of other religions now, even the Islamic religion, it's the same thing. The people, there are a lot of Islamic schools, but they still don't learn what they should learn. They don't even read the Quran, but they just do what the Imam tells them to do. And that's the danger.
Let me butt in this way now. As we see on this screen right now, we are about 6 of us. One of the screen is dark. And you can tell that's NEPA, Nigeria for you. My brother,
I hope you will not blame that on the pastors again.
In fact, we can see, we believe that you are with us in spirit. Do you think the pastors have failed us? Even though they can influence the power, electricity. I'm not trying to get pastors.
Please remember, all these pastors are their best. They are only men of God. They are not God.
Can I say something?
Only God can help Nigeria.
can I just chip in something? This is a very good example. This kind of thing would happen. A pastor probably will say, okay, let me pray for you that there will be light. Instead of explaining it to the guy that say, look, you should protest. You know, go out there and protest and say there is no light. You know, that's just the difference. And this guy, if he's told by the pastor, because he references his pastor as God, and the pastor tells him that, he begins to wait. That's what is really happening with the youth until now. I mean, what has happened is that they believe in miracles. Miracles exist, don't get me wrong. You know, and not all pastors are even in this kind of scheme that I talk about. There are really good pastors, there are good imams, there are good mosques, there are good, really religious leaders that really, but majority of them have actually taken a path, actually, you know, digressed a little bit or veered away from the real path.
Well, let me drag. Okay.
Can I add to that?
Okay, go ahead.
President Kemi wants to add. Please go ahead.
Yeah. You know, talking about pastors, we can bash the pastors as much as we want, but what I see here is we are actually not differentiating the pastors from the businessmen. We have so many places we call churches now that are just business centers.
That's true.
They are not churches.
Yes.
Those so-called pastors or imams, when you get close to them, you realize that they are worse than Satan's.
Yes.
I'm not judging them. But
that is a fact.
But I see something that we do in Nigeria today. We put all of them together in the same basket and we judge them. If you get one other thing I realize about Nigerians is we are a very wonderful set of people with our own mindset. We want to go to church where the pastor is busy displaying, where he will raise up his leg and say, see my latest shoe. It is God that provided that. And when they now go to, and they dance, they hold themselves by the waist, people's wives and husbands, turning round and round dancing in the church. There's different kinds of songs they sing now. But all those, right, we are not looking at them. We are rather just castigating all of them together. I don't agree with that. One second. And asking whether the churches are doing anything. Yes, they are. Look at this. I don't want to mention names of anyone, but when you go to some churches, you see that they actually have like a whole village that they have built themselves. Electricity does not blink. They are able to provide electricity, good roads, good accommodation.
Universities,
you say they're expensive. They have to pay their lecturers. They need the money.
Don't that go back to what we are? Don't that go back to what we were saying before when you say that those that raise the money, if I may say, it's crowd-funded. Let me put it that way, crowd-funded. When those that raise the money cannot really make use of those facilities. But before I let Dr. Brown in, I want to bring Bobby in. Bobby, the Bible said, let there be light, and there was light. And there is never light in Nigeria. Will you will down on pastors since Nigeria refused to obey God and say, let there be light and there were light?
Saying that giving an absolute deduction or addition statement to say that religious leaders have not actually played a vital role in making the nation move forward will not be totally correct. Religious leaders in Nigeria, is so unfortunate that we have few religious leaders in Nigeria that have actually played their roles that every well-meaning average Nigerian on the streets can attest to and say, yes, this is a good man of God. This is actually a true Muslim. But the problem is most religious leaders in Nigeria, as things stand, have politicized the religious sector to the detriment of Nigerians in such a way that many persons are not categorizing it to be a business sector. I live in Nigeria. The Bible says when the righteous rule, the people rejoice. We cannot be saying that the righteous are ruling us when Nigerian religious leaders have schools that Nigerians cannot afford. We cannot be saying that the righteous are ruling us in Nigeria when we now have pastors that stood so low in contesting for political positions to the extent that they now crossbreed religions and become allergy themselves. And we say that we are moving forward with such religious leaders. We cannot also come to this platform to educate our people and tell our people in various parts of the world that are watching and listening to us, because posterity will judge us for whatever we say or do here, that Nigerian religious leaders have actually helped in shaping the country when Nigerian religious leaders have never for once engaged the bad leadership of the day to refrain from doing such. If religion cannot be turned into a positive lifestyle where the citizens in a society can emulate and turn that lifestyle that is supposed to be worthy of emulation for subsequent generations to benefit from, it is safe to say holistically, in every rational sense, that religion in Nigeria is an apology to mankind over here. Thank you very much.
I'm going to take it from here. Let me throw it down to Dr. Brown. Do you believe the last statement, religion in Nigeria is an apology to mankind?
I wouldn't say religion is what's the word you use, an apology to a mankind. I wouldn't use that word. I wouldn't phrase it like that. You know, the whole idea of personal interest mentality, of capitalist mentality, has screwed up a lot of things, because some of us, even when we think that we want to do something to help the people that are facing disadvantage, the idea of want to make more money is always behind the thought, not really to support the society. I think the argument that we're trying to have here, because somebody did say that, oh yes, they have hospitals. I mean, some of them have schools, and it may not be affordable for the common man because they have to pay bills too. So that's the whole point that I'm trying to drag out here. That so the thoughts and feelings behind it is on the basis of is a capitalist mentality, not so much to contribute to the society. So and the fact that the state has failed the people so well, you know, the religious leader should have taken it as an opportunity to stand in the vacuum, right, to deliver the people. But what then happened is, because the people now turn to religion or to the church as a matter of last resort, you now also have, you know, churches manipulating the same people in order for them to be able to achieve their own purpose. So it gets so very, very confusing. And I do hope that we can begin to talk about the way forward, and how to begin to, you know, talk more about morality and celebrate hard work, appreciate, you know, people that have integrity, rather than, you know, even pastors, even whatever. The whole idea of I want to have a private plane, I want to have so much to myself, is what is responsible. Greed is what is responsible for all these things that is going on in our society. So if we begin to think of how to actually solve the solution, support the people, you know, things will begin to change gradually and move in the right direction.
We just need to be careful that we do not generalize. It's always wrong to generalize and say some group of people
Pastor,
are responsible for the...
I disagree with you, Pastor. You know why? If I say Barack Obama win an election, or let's take Donald Trump win an election, who won an election in America? Donald Trump. We'll put it that way, right? It doesn't mean that all the people in America voted for Donald Trump.
Yes, but when you say
we're talking about
all Americans voted for Donald Trump, or all Americans...
If I say the Americans voted Donald Trump in, it means that the majority voted him. So
now, honestly speaking, I believe that there are some bad pastors, like we have bad people, bad Nigerians and good Nigerians. I just want us to be balanced. Don't let us look for scapegoats. The fact remains that we have some minority men of God, women of God, Muslim, Christians that are not doing the right thing in the country.
Just
But don't
wait.
forget,
Just see the- I think-
please don't forget that 95% about of Nigerian pastors, most of them are just committed human beings like you and I, giving their sacrifice to the work of God. Some of them don't even earn salaries, unlike what people imagine. 95% of the pastors in Nigeria don't earn salaries. Now, don't let's make mistake because we have less than 1% of people flying jets to mistake that is all what pastoring is about.
Okay, sir, sorry. If
95% of these genuine people serving God, sweating in their hunger to make sure that things work in the society. Just let me ask you this question. What will have happened if there's no practice of religion in Nigeria? Can you imagine?
I can, okay, Audible, just so
Okay. I equally
Let's
want
say there's no Christianity, there's no church, there's no mosque in Nigeria. What do you imagine could be in that country?
Let me explain that. Come in there. First, I give credit to yourself and Her Excellency Kemi for what you said. It is true. Not all. We mustn't generalize. Okay,
Yeah.
let's start on that basis, because not all pastors are manipulating. Some are genuine men of God, women of God. But what I'm saying is that majority of them, because those ones that are really genuine are very
Minority, you meant. Minority.
They are the minority, but the majority have actually veered away from their role. Now, let me come back to talk about the schools. In the first place, religion, we all know it. It is purely religion, it's people business. It is not the business of whatever church whatsoever to be building schools or hospital. It is the
Why
government.
not?
Let me finish. You have the role of government and you have the role of churches. So we
Church brought schools to Africa. Don't forget.
Let's speak the truth, because even the Bible
Church brought schools to Africa.
It will set us free. You know, the problem is when you now begin, it's like a woman in a home playing the role of a husband in a home, and the husband playing the role of a wife. They don't work. You have a role. God made you somewhere. The government runs a country and provides services, hospitals, schools, and all that. When it now happens that the church veers away from its religious responsibility of preaching to people, changing the way people think, you know, changing the way people make use of
Is
their life.
education not part of the way to change how people think?
Just a second. You know, if the school now goes and this religion starts, makes the money, so it's like, and you come to me, you say, please, Johnson, I need some money. I want to build a school so that your children can attend. Then I come, I scoop whatever I have, I'm donating. Then you build that school. Then you get lecturers that you have to pay them. And because you have to pay them, I cannot come to the school. Even the hospitals, it's not only in Nigeria, don't get me wrong. There are even churches in Ghana as well, run by Ghanaians, big churches, where even people dying, they cannot even pay and even get admission to hospitals.
We're going to move forward from this topic. We're going to allow Dr. Brown to weigh in so we can move forward, because there are other one or two things to time is fine.
Oh, yeah, I think we have pretty much elaborated on it, but just to kind of draw from what Mr. Odibo was saying, that well, it's not the business of the church to build schools and all that. So people can make that argument. But what in Nigeria context, in a situation where the state has failed the people, and whoever that is able to now provide such services should be applauded. But if the intention is also on the basis of I want to make money in order to be able to, live a flamboyant life of the business, then the purpose will be defeated when you not mirror it to the whole concept of church. You know, so that's the point that I thought I should quickly just bring in here.
No, I'm gonna digress a little bit. Thank you very much. At least we took on that back and forth. I want to take that back. Yes, there are good pastors, good reverend, and good imam out there. We cannot generalize. I totally agree with Dr. Professor Solomon. I agree with you. But now let's move back to, I want to quickly speak directly. Now this is I'll start with Dr. Johnson Odibo. You are president of NIDO. Right now, what do you think is the next phase now? What is the call to actions? Since we have all established in this very panel today that the Nigerians in diasporas have a major role to play in when it comes to the growth of our dear country, Nigeria. what is the call to action? What will you now say is the first step forward as a Nigerian in diaspora, and as a president of organizations that is operating outside Nigeria?
Rebranding, teaching people how things are done, even in the way I lead. I lead as an example. I'm an example. So I have even my executive, they have to see the way I lead. Because before now, people think offices are just where you make money. You know, offices are where you go. But we are trying to change that kind of narrative and that belief by really serving. Because to be a leader, you have to serve. We are servants of the people. Even for the independence that we are even going to do, we have an idle independence party on a Sunday. We couldn't get a hall on Saturday. And today, of course, being a working day, you can't do it. So we're doing it on a Sunday. We have to contribute, not from anybody, just to do it to give Nigerians that face an opportunity to at least have or share from the cake. Because, you know, until you start telling people that you're being in an office as a president of NIDO, then you always have to get a red carpet. This is something we all have to change, and people have to see us doing it. You know, I mean, there's a philosopher that once said, if you teach me, you know, maybe I know, but if you make me, I mean, if you tell me, maybe I might understand, teach me, but if you really involve me, then it sticks with me. And we are trying to really involve Nigerians, even in the way we spoke out, you know, during the Edo State elections. You know, that's because we spent our money, we weren't waiting for the government. So I think this is the next phase that those in diaspora, whether me being president and every other diasporan, should always think of what they can give or do for their country, changing the mindset of people, for people to think out of the box, rather than always thinking of, oh, let me come and get a political appointment. Let me be local government chairman. Let me be minister. Let me be commissioner. We should stop thinking of this. We'll think out of it, just contribute, because at the end of the day, why are we all abroad? Why are we all in the diaspora? Because it's a bad governance that has chased us everyone out. So the moment we begin to change the narrative, begin to, bring good governance back, then home will be sweet to go back to. You know, and people, you won't be scared anymore that you're going to get, you know, kidnapped by somebody who couldn't feed, you know, who's just so hungry, and out of desperation, he goes to open a church, or he kidnaps somebody just to extort money.
Let me bring Her Excellency Lady K in. This is a woman I've worked closely with. To me, sometimes when even though she doesn't like praises, but I have worked with her and I have a living witness. That's why sometimes I address her as epitome of leadership. And things you just mentioned is not far from what I've seen her do, you know, in the community when it comes to working with the community. What is the next step, Madam, as a president of Nigeria Canadian Association in GTA here in Canada? What is the next call to action? What will you say our people should do, since we all agree that the diasporans will have a big role in this?
Thank you again so very much. And my point will not be too much far away from what Dr. Odibo has elucidated. The main problem I see, main challenge I see, is the mindset of our people. Like I said earlier, leadership, we've been busy bashing the leadership, but the followership, the people, not many people really want to serve. I have experience of people coming into positions of leadership just because they want to use that position to enrich themselves, even here in the diasporas. You think the people in the diasporas will take what we see here and utilize it for the benefit of mankind? No, they take what they see here, they perfect it, they take the ones they bring in from Nigeria, they perfect it very well, they match the two together, and they now become, they now have PhD in their abilities to actually deceive the people, to make the people feel they are working for them, but they're not doing anything for them. Then I see the mindset of the people, they don't want to serve. The percentage of the people that want to really serve honestly is extremely very minute. And if you come on board to serve them and they try you everywhere, they see that you are actually doing the proper thing, then they come after you to pull you down. Yeah. These are the people you want to serve. These are the people you are giving your all in all, but they are busy just castigating you left, right, center, which makes me to sit down and wonder, is Nigeria actually ready for honest leadership?
So what is the way forward?
Are we ready?
What is the way forward?
You don't go forward without treating the problem. You want to do what is called bandage approach. You have a huge saw, and what you are doing is you just cover it up and you say, let's move forward. Moving where? The problems really have to be dealt with. That is the mindset of our people. And you actually see that this person is doing a most horrible thing, using the names of the diasporans actually to try to enrich themselves personally. They come out with programs in the diasporans, all with the aim of what we call human trafficking. Because they now use that program, they go to Nigeria, try to bring people through the embassy, because the name of the community is associated with that program. They are able to easily get visas, which they now go and charge people to pay them 1.5 million, 1 million, all because they have the name of the community actually entrenched. The embassy is kind of fooled. You can only fool them once, twice. And then the name of the whole community is in jeopardy. So those of us in the diasporas that actually are supposed to be the epitome of morality are actually worse than the people back at home. This topic, I'm really, really not happy about it. I have done what I can as a president, but I see, and when you try to bring this topic up, our people are very wonderful. Tribalism comes to play. That is when you now see, oh, is it Segun? You say Segun is a thief. Don't worry, it's our thief. So we now personalize thieves. And we don't see, we say corruption. Corruption is a beautiful name to epitomize stealing. They are thieves. Call them the names they are.
So,
thieves.
Let's to Dr. Brown. Dr. Brown, you said something. You said sensitization. Will what she's saying now, do you think that will be the direct approach to way forward?
Yes, it's part of it, So the mindset, needs to be sensitized. There has to be a total sensitization and indoctrination, because that's where the philosophy of social change begins. Up to from your home family up to the leadership positions, and now begin to try to celebrate things that actually is more of moral values, rather than celebrating people, hanging out with people that are supposed to be castigated in the society. You will begin to condemn some of those things and don't celebrate it. We begin to teach our young ladies that, a Yahoo boy is not the best person to date. That young man that is still in school, that is focused, that is working, that is doing his helping his mother to work and earn a little money, has more potential, has a better life. There's dignity in representing human freedom. So that is a part of it, the dimension, and also accountability in terms of looking at it at the elected officials. We as a people have to understand that if we try to also hold elected officials accountable, that could also compel them to do what is right, rather than applauding them with the intention of also benefiting from the whole scheme, from the whole corrupt system. Like, that's what...
about elected official, let me switch to Bobby now. Elected official and electorate, who is to be blamed?
Electorates and elected officials, both are to be blamed, because I believe in one thing, that if transformational leadership is to make followership effective, leadership ought to determine how followership should behave, and followership ought to determine how leadership should perform. This is where the sense of purpose comes into place. Now, we need proper sensitization and conscientization that should be consistent. This is where the power of the media comes into place. Now, you would agree with me that when nationalism started in Nigeria, the power of newspapers like West African Pilots and Lagos Daily went a long way in transforming the mindsets of our people who had money to school in Lagos and in Calabar, narrowing it down to present-day democracy in the 21st century. The social media is one tool that can be used to change the mindset of people, where many persons do not need to wait till 4 years on the day of elections for them to be bribed to sell their conscience, where leadership need to have a sense of purpose in understanding the value of the future by taking up responsibility not for personal purpose, but for affecting positively the lives in the Nigerian society. And where followership in turn need to understand that the only way leadership can be constantly effective is for followership to obey the rules of engagement by constantly questioning and checking and balancing the functionality of leadership in any sphere, in any ramification, and even in the educational sector, where the academic and academias in the various states in Nigeria need to start engaging the government of the day and finding out why seemingly controversial issues like the increase in fuel pump price ought to be redressed, ought to be addressed, and ought to be done properly. I feel when this sense of purpose is brought into leadership and followership, it will help move the nation forward. Where in this country, we can be able to say, yes, we now have a new rebranded Nigeria that future generations will continuously be proud of, and not just.
Thank you, everybody. We just have one more question. Time is well overspent. This question, I will start from Bobby. The question, you have to say yes or no. Will you, yes mean you want it, no mean you don't want it? Will you prefer Nigeria to be splitted into many countries or 2 countries?
No, I don't want it.
I'm going to go to Dr. Brown. What's your take on that?
I said no. I believe in the strength of unity. You know, as a matter of fact, I even believe that the whole of African countries should be together. So why should Nigeria be separated? You know, but there has to be social justice. There has to be equity and freedom if we must remain together as a country. But if the whole mentality is going to be put on a geopolitical zones, a system of government, whereby, you know, we don't have the right leader to actually lead the people, it's going to be the same story. We'll just continue to be around the same circle all over and over, you know. So,
Dr. Odibo, are you there? Yes.
Okay, I didn't quite hear my name. If Nigeria should split or should remain together, I will answer it in both ways. With the current way Nigeria is, I think it's not a country. Okay, we cannot run a country like this. And that's really the facts. You have to restructure this country so that it kills laziness. The way it is, where states are waiting for federal allocations at the end of the month or year or what have you, is complete laziness. Apply the Swiss system, confederation. Every state contributes to the purse, and every state has autonomy over its resources. It will make other states work harder. With the way it is, I don't think the country can move forward like this. Let's be realistic.
Thank you very much. Pastor, Professor, go ahead.
I resonate with Dr. Odibo's stand in the sense that there's a lot of room for Nigeria to improve. But having said that, I will say yes, Nigeria remains great to be one nation. I mean, we are stronger together. Look at the fact that we have 365 or 66 ethnic groups forming that country. It makes us not only one of the richest African nations, being the most populated African nation, in terms of human resources, it gives us ability to forge ahead. We should only maximize what we have. There's a room for improvement, yes, but we need to take the courage to bring that improvement to play. Nigeria has a better future. Despite our situation, we have a lot to celebrate as a nation.
Thank you very much, sir. Her Excellency, what's your take on this?
My answer can come out controversial because right now I'm still studying the situation. I'm still looking at what we call Nigeria, even basic little things. Looking at ageism still playing a huge role, sexism. Example, just everywhere. Look at it. There's 6 of us here, only me and woman, right? I had to throw that out there.
Novice.
Women in Europe started voting just barely 50 years ago. Don't forget that.
Exactly. We are not supposed to be like their negatives. We are supposed to
it's not Nigerian problem.
We need to build on their positives. Yeah, so on a serious note, this moment I'm still studying the whole thing. The country is kind of, when I get in power as a Yoruba person, I bring all my people as Yorubas and others. The tribalism thing is playing a huge role. And if my brother or my sister is making trouble in other parts of the country, I turn a blind eye because it's my person. We have an issue here. So at this moment, I'm still studying it. I don't have a yes or no answer.
Thank you. First of all, Dr. Brown, Bobby Obayiwana, Professor Solomon, Dr. Johnson Odibo, Her Excellency, the NCA President, Lady K. I want to say thank you for your support, the assistance, support you're providing for our local and international community. We want to say that we will not trade you guys for anything. We thank you all for your time. We want to be doing this over and over, time out, one after the other. We want to keep such panel ongoing where we can discuss issues that matters to our community at home and in the diaspora. Thank you once again. Before we round up, we are going to be sharing the screen. We're going to be doing some national item. After that, I will say goodbye and one Nigeria. It looks like we all agree to one Nigeria from what everybody said here.
Yes, so yes.
You are not hearing properly. Oh.
Yes, so
I said it looks like all agree to one Nigeria.
One Nigeria, but there has to be
one Nigeria.
We are still studying
one Nigeria.
Yes, one Nigeria.
One Nigeria, but there has to be equity and justice.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, in terms of and all that.
For those of us in diaspora, we are still carrying Nigerian passport, so
yes,
we say
of course.
Nigeria.
Well, I mean, there has to be one Nigeria, but the idea of killing laziness. I mean,
love and strength and faith that labor offer can never be peace and unity.
Very much, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Bye,
so very
everyone.
much.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank
God
you.
bless.